This is the Devil's Guide to D&D. Devil's Delegate here, and my Wizards of the Coast has been busy little beavers this week, with tons of announcements and new materials. I'm looking at the big one, the preview to the next edition of D&D. And my first thoughts? This is a 5.1, or maybe a 5.3. That is,
I'm a little sad we have to start over each time. I thought we would start where we left.
I
mean, I could have saved the lockup, but people still need 291 gear,
so...
really
going to be a problem with that. Now, backward compatible does not mean it's the same thing.
And these bosses towards that...
yes, there will be. Well, we've already been doing that.
As well
Tasha's brought in some big changes that everyone had to adapt to.
Well,
and though the changes we're seeing look like they're a bit bigger than Tasha's,
you just have to kill that boss once, or do you have to kill every boss
based on what
on
we've been
normal
given
since we
so
started
far,
on normal?
the new D&D is going to be.
I think you have to for the first one. It says 30 unique
My next
bosses.
thought on all of this, one D&D is a really
for the
stupid
slime
name.
cat.
Yes, we're getting new books.
Every
in
boss
2024,
on
but they're not gonna be called
at
6th
least
edition
normal
or
difficulty. So if we kill it in
5.5.
heroic, it doesn't matter.
It's one D&D, as I say,
the same
they're
as killing
getting
it on
rid of
normal,
editions.
so.
Yeah, my phone.
Alright, so we're going to spread out. You get the Sin
that
Seekers
doesn't like to count.
on you
This is
with the
just
red arrow.
mark-
You stay put. Everybody else moves unless two of you have it or stacked up each other and like spread out a little bit. In phase 1, 1 and 3 you can AoE. In phase 2 there is no AoE at all. In phase 1,
I thought the Seeker killed you.
no, it puts a dot on you. That's not great, but that's it.
But you don't want to AoE the dogs, is what she's saying. The ads.
In phase 2, correct. Phase 1 and 3 is fine, but phase 2, no AoE. In phase 1, if you get the red circle, move in towards melee so people can share your dot with you. So as a number, your face. And in phase 3, take your poo to the wall, and we'll use cooldowns when the tanks move the ats. In phase 2, which is the most important phase, Cheney is going to run towards Moon. Healers are going to heal her double. And we're going to have 2 ads that pop up. We are going to CC both of them. And then in about 7 seconds, I'll switch a skull into whichever one is closest to the center here. And we will kill that one while keeping the other one CC'd. We do need stuns and other hard CCs to interrupt the cast that the little ads have, or we will all implode. So I think everybody who was here last time is here again, so if you were CCing either the close ad or the far ad, I don't think anybody died, so we had food before the fight, so I don't really need the food.
No,
Have to move it up one.
It was just me then.
Okay.
Not a problem. I can go without.
So if you were on the close one or the far one last time for CCs, just do the same thing. We want to get as many CCs on each one as we can so we get the buff on them so they are easily to murder. And that's really it. We got this.
Five, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1. It's too far away.
My hero's in the last phase. That helps.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Loosely spread.
Margot, make them bleed.
Lunge, move in. Split with the melee. And should be good to do the same thing we did with dispels. Yeah. One person in each one.
This foe.
At least one. Sin Seekers.
Nothing escapes my sight. Margot, make them bleed.
Should have Barghast coming in.
Barghast, come.
Phase 2.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Sparks. Healers, get ready. What's up, healer? You ready for CCs? CCs! Remember, we're CCing both. Don't hit them yet.
This boat has your name on it.
Switch after the Sin Seekers here, so about 3 seconds. Alright, switch into Skull.
I have enough boats for everyone.
Soul adds up. Tree Soul interrupted though.
I have enough boats
Folks,
for everyone.
we're gonna need to do the other one.
I have enough boats
Help so.
for everyone.
Bark.
Add
Skull
coming in.
coming in.
Barghast, rend their souls.
Jade's coming in. CC's and back to ball. Need another CC on the one near moon.
This
Thanks.
boat
Gonna
has
need to
your
just
name.
keep CCing that one probably.
It's gonna go.
Okay. Creation Spark.
Help so.
Shit, sorry, I think I broke.
Alright. Yep, we're gonna switch to Skull here.
My ad's up also.
Help so.
3 CC moon. One over there if you
Have
can.
enough boats for everyone.
Nope. Nope, nope, nope.
My pets will enjoy gnawing your bones.
So close.
Tried, I was like a second too late. Sorry.
Yeah.
I have enough boats.
Not sure why the first one broke. I didn't see anything on it.
I didn't either. Somebody's messages had something like AoE on their person and so it broke. I'm not sure.
It's my stupid 4 piece. I targeted it to interrupt and then it just cast by itself.
Ah, of course it did. Lovely 4P.
Stupid.
I have a soul stone.
Well, you
Oh.
kind of see that before a third of us, it was only 4 of us, but whatever. Oh!
Who does the sprayed shot?
It's just a random AoE that the boss does. But if that's what killed you, that was not the problem, because the problem was the ads got their casts off. So you were low when something else came in. L!
Hey.
Although really impressive healing healers to actually keep us alive through the one cast of the roar, because that's impressive. You get the rest? No, it's okay, good. Refresh, eat your food. Alright. Everybody got their buffs and stuff?
Five, 4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
The hunt begins. I have enough boats for everyone. Margot, make them bleed.
Move in. Yep.
Help so.
Sparks.
This boat
Then
has
secret.
your name on it. I have enough boats. Margot, make them bleed. Your death will not
Hey,
be
Vargas
mine.
coming in.
Have
Stop the
Vargas
AoEs.
come.
Phase 2.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Absurd.
So, adds up for healers. CCs soon.
Rend their throat.
And now for CCs. Need CCs on the close one. Thank you.
This
Give it a
foe
second here.
has your name.
Send Seekers. Should be good to switch to Skull.
I have enough foes.
Add up.
Everyone. Nothing escapes my sight.
Other one.
Absurd.
And Sparks to soap. And other ad.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Nice murder. Rip Soul for healers.
Barghast. Rend their souls.
Absurd.
Jade's coming up. CCs. CCs. Careful, because one is close. It's gonna need to get re-CC'd.
This boat has your
Then
name
Seekers.
on it.
Alright, should be good to switch to Skull. And Soak at the same time.
Add up.
Absurd.
Nothing escapes
So-
my sight.
There, the other one.
Nothing escapes my sight.
Beautiful murder.
My favorite.
Alright, last one coming.
Acutus, here, now.
I'll pop Hera when Cheney moves the boss first. Or whatever tank thing she does.
Have enough
Yeah,
foes
that's the thing.
for everyone.
Absurd.
Okay, you're gonna move him.
Acutus, Shutterbones.
Like an aim. And those to the walls, please.
This bow
Then Seekers.
has your name on it.
After those, I'll move him again.
Acutus,
Then
Shutterbones. I have enough bows for everyone.
Absurd.
Folks.
Acutus, Shutterbones.
Phase 4.
Russia. No.
Absurd.
Other soaks.
I have enough bows for everyone.
Super beautiful. Alright, let's loot and scoot here.
Keep thinking I get a piece of loot when I see that purple thing.
Yeah.
Putting end to that wretch.
You know, I've got a weapon above 291, so I don't understand why it won't let me trade this sphere.
The passage is down here, mortals.
Sphere rule.
The way ahead will be fraught with danger.
Stupid.
But we must
It is kind of weird.
armor stores.
Maybe he thinks you're me.
Oh, I take it back. It will let me trade it.
90 near 290.
Well, a hunter, major, or druid will be very happy then. Nibble, nibble.
I need to target something first. I can't use that item yet. I don't have a target. I need a target. get something first. I need to get close.
Are they?
It's still recharging. I'm out of range.
Guys, standing in the green is mildly problematic.
What, just because you get 100 stacks of rotting
Yep.
soul on you?
Yep, that's the one.
There's hickers. Healers are so picky.
No. Don't stand in the stuff. Stand on the stairs.
Stand in the circles.
I can't use that item yet. I don't have a target. I can't attack that target. I need to get closer.
So if you ever wondered what a waxed boom chicken looks like, now you know.
How do I know?
I'm out of range.
Because I'm waxed.
You mean you're waxed?
What?
It's Provost wax on his armor, so he's bright and shiny.
That kind of wax, not like kind of wax, you know?
I knew you would make the wrong assumptions, but
I didn't
What
think like
kind of
wax.
wax,
Well, you know, like, there wasn't a very good sound effect, but you know, not like wax that makes Shane's shiny, like wax on, wax off, but wax like rip your soul out your hair follicles kind of wax.
What kind of wax is? I've never heard of that kind of wax. Oh, like
What?
with a K. Okay.
What? No.
No. Well, what kind of what? Oh, like waxing your hair. Okay, I'm with you now.
wow, that was a painfully slow ride you took.
Thanks for being with me now, because apparently no one else was.
No, I think it was just me that fell off that train.
Wow.
Well, Ro was talking about the full body Brazilian wax.
Yeah, apparently. I'm
And
actually a
it's
little
really
disappointed
annoying.
now because
Their
I
statement
think
is,
the wax
there's no more editions
boom
of D&D.
chicken would
There's
be
just
hilarious looking.
And though the changes
It really would, though. Alright. Let's see here, one second.
Oh, L.
What? Why you OL me?
You're just because.
Do you know that's not why
It's
it's
another
called
one.
that?
Just Google it.
That's
Alright, so let's do groups 1 and 3 on green and 2, 4 on blue. Remember, we want to split the sort of white-blue circles, the miasmas, so that we have some on each side. I don't know if we'll have 3 or 4. If we have 3, 2 and 1, and if we have 4, 2 and 2. So you might need to move from side to side. The most important thing for not murdering people is if you get the ejection beam, those 3 people need to move away from your group, and I mean left or right, not forward or back. Preferably, the 3 people will be approximately in this configuration, where one's at the center of this, one's at skull, and one's at X. You don't actually have to be at those marks, but you need to be in a nice, beautiful little line away from your groups so that you don't put stacks on your friends. And move back to your group as soon as you are done. When the expunge happens, you're going to have a blue circle around you. Its size is based on how much health is missing. You're going to go towards the walls or away from us and kind of stack all the little balls that it leaves near each other. So don't run into the balls against the wall, but kind of put the circles and stand your buddy near the old circles that are left, and then come back to the group. And if there's any kind of like around our marks where we're standing, you can explode those by running into them, but don't run into them if you have less than 50% health.
What about turtling?
That would work. For the expunges, let's do on 1. Let's do the shamans, because I think I put a shaman in each group. The shamans spirit totem one, so that we just have lots of healing on that side. Can we get a summoning stone thing? And then for 2, let's do totem, and 3, let's do Nalu, and 4, let's do L, and then we'll reset the whole thing. Did he actually explain it to you, El?
It is, Quartz. It is.
It is absolutely a type of dinosaur. You are righter than you thought.
In every respect, really.
Well done.
I didn't know English, okay? I was learning.
It still makes sense, honestly. Alright, any questions before we do this? We'll hero at the start. Oh, and when the consume happens, we're going to all run towards Moon. Try to stay in your friends' circles while we're doing that, so they still get heals. Give it like a 7 count for the tanks to get the boss back in position.
You seem to be missing very many at blue.
1-3 is green, 2-4 is blue. And you're going to want to stack like Luke and Tauntauns. Which means get in each other! Sorry, that was creepier than I intended.
Get in the wax chicken.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
2, 1.
Waxing makes it smooth.
Emitter up in the back, please. Beams out.
Tuscan is gonna get killed.
Three, 2, 1.
5 seconds to healing cooldown 1. Asmus, remember you need to stack. Don't move out with the circles. You want to stack with the circle. Alright, we're regrouping.
Defensive.
Regroup.
Bring the circles into the
You
group.
gotta the circles have to stack with your group or you're never gonna get heals. So you want to stack, stack, stack with your group. Like Luke and Tauntaun stack with your group.
Take one of them over to green.
5 seconds till healing cooldown 2.
Defensive. Spread.
Rudo.
3, 2, 1.
Regroup. Ejection beam is coming.
Toned boss.
Emitter's up. Beams out. Where you can be on the emitter.
Run.
Alright, and away we go. Remember, we want to get away from that quick because it heals it. And stand in people's circles so they get heals. We're going to go back. If you have beam, be in the center. If you don't have beam, be on the outside. Regroup.
Toned boss.
Healing cooldown 3.
2, 1. Defensive.
I need one of those over here in this group. After this. So one of those miasmas to green, please.
2, 1.
Regroup.
Toned boss.
Beams out.
2, 1.
Regroup.
Defensive.
Healing cooldown 4, I think? Can't count. Oh, why? I think I can count. Emitter up in the front.
Toned boss. Spread.
To the wall.
3, 2, 1.
Regroup.
Defensive.
Beams out. Regroup. Just kidding, we're gonna run away. As quick as we can. We're gonna go back. Beams on the inside, everyone else on the outside. Get back to your marks. Beams coming in. Out you go. Everyone else stat.
Defensive.
Healing cooldown 1. I think we're back to 1.
3, 2, 1.
Bunch coming in.
Toned boss. Spread.
Regroup.
Defensive.
Emitter in the back.
3,
Beams out.
2, 1.
Regroup.
Toned boss.
Healing cooldown 2. Coming in soon.
Defensive. Spread.
Walls.
3, 2, 1.
Back we go.
Toned boss. Toned boss.
Beams coming in. Beams out. We should take him out of the group. Okay, we're gonna run away. Far away as we can, as quick as we can. Try to stay in people's circles so they get heals. Back we go. Beams on the inside, everyone else on the outside. Regroup. Regroup. I think this is healing cooldown 3. Emitter up in the back.
3, 2, 1.
Hey, expunges to the wall. And a sec.
Defensive.
2 seconds. I can't count.
Spread.
Wait. Regroup.
Toned boss.
Beams coming in.
Toned boss. 3, 2, 1.
Regroup.
Defensive.
I think this is 4. Sponge coming in.
Spread. 3, 2, 1.
Regroup.
Defensive. Switch down.
Beams out.
Run.
Run away. When we come back, we'll do the beam. Or the emitter, but don't do it right now. We don't want to be close. Alright, move back in.
Defensive.
Emitter. We'll finish off the boss. Stack stack. Beams out. Regroup.
Toned boss.
I think we're back to 1. I lost count again.
2, 1.
Doing so well, too.
Defensive. Spread.
Beautiful. Mass res if we can, please.
The enema stores lie ahead.
That was a great job. No, it really didn't. We used to have to, like, really plan our healing cooldowns or it was a serious problem, and that was... Oh, I'm glad. If I don't have to count, I will definitely give up counting. Trust me.
Especially because it's to 4.
Right? I gotta tell you, one of my absolute favorite TikToks I have seen in probably the last month is from it's a crochet audio, and they're like, One of the things that you have to think about when you start crocheting is, are you ready to confront the question, can I count? And are you ready to confront the answer to that question being no?
It's not ready yet.
The answer is definitely no. Alright, remember with this one with the red swirlies, we want one person in it so that it doesn't blow us all up.
It's too far away.
And if you get the big red circle around you, if you're able to move, you're going to bring it in towards the melee. Don't like put it on the tanks, but bring it in so that we can cleave them down quickly.
I need to get closer.
And if you are the people who get the red lines connecting you to your friend, you are going to slice those tomatoes. Which means you need to get the little tomatoes so that they are getting hit by the lines of your friends.
Be the fruit ninja.
Yes, be the fruit ninja. Fruit ninjas, Roach, L, Gim. Ninja time, good job. I literally
You have to say ninja time every time.
I've never called them tomatoes until the last time we were here, and then just, I don't know.
Now that's what they're gonna be.
Yep, they
forever.
Sure are. And what we'll do is we'll have Vince cover yellow and orange after the first one gets full. I'll cover green, blue, and Gim and Itachi will be our backups in case we become indisposed with mechanics. So, if we need to, Ben, call it out so that somebody, Gim or Itachi, can grab our vessel-y thing.
By unleashing this anima into the maw. Surely even a sycophant like you can see that.
What I see is a bold new future about to unfold. A future with no place for traitors
Feast.
like you!
Thanks. Come eat your feast first.
I feel like feasts are for closers, and the people who need feasts, they are not closers.
Alright, ready my checker.
Just a reminder, give her a second before you all charge in, because we want to move her, and if you're all on top of her, she won't move.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
That's not what I wanted to use, Hero. Gosh, Christine. Way to go. Sorry, it'll be fine. Essence up if somebody near it can click it. Thanks. Moats up. Swirlies. Emptying yellow.
1.
Destruction reigns!
Tuned burst.
Swirly.
Really? And afterwards, if we can get this essence. Ads coming in. Short one first, interrupt the short one. Yeah, this one with the skull. Tomatoes! Ninja time! Who's that on? Material. We got it. We got it. Swirls. Bobble.
Like a tomato.
This is where I'd love to pop Hero, but I forgot. I hit it in the wrong spot. We're fine though, this seems fine. Essence up.
Swirlies.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Moat's coming in. Tomatoes. Ninja time!
Tuned verse.
Ads coming up. Short one first.
Swirlies.
A tall one. Tomatoes. And Fruit Ninja. Little couple heals on Tuscan. Essence up.
Tuned verse. 4, 3,
Swirlies.
1.
Ads coming up.
Little one. Beams. Ninja time. And tall boy.
But somebody melee needs to move in.
Oh yeah. Have him, yep.
Swirlies.
4, 3,
Essence.
2, 1.
Votes.
Ads coming
Tuned
up.
verse.
I think the other one's
Yeah, they're
to the
stuck
point where
now.
it can't move.
Yep.
So we should be fine to just interrupt it and finish off the boss, I think. So good. Jeez, can you tell they're related? Great job.
Here, mortals. I know a passage that leads back to the antechamber.
And nobody even opened the door this time.
No need! We weren't going to have to run back.
The Stoneborn were permitted to use such routes to see to our master's demands. The debaucheries I have witnessed.
Thanks. Remember, you can repair your gear as you run through here if you want. Little Rendell over here.
You've been followed. This trap's gonna be the end of all.
Which level of ridiculous suffering are we doing first?
I figured we were gonna go do Artificer. I give Cheney some time to warm up for Sun King, you know.
Maybe my power will go out just as we get there. which is actually a legit thing. It's very stormy right now.
I'm not gonna believe it even if you claim it. I'm just saying at this point.
Hi, Vincent. I'm just standing here, you know, following you.
Who goes there?
It's too far away. I'm out of range. I need to target something first. I need a target.
Well, that's a new way to do that, Rim.
Somebody thinking we're MDIing it in here.
Pull it all at once, get done, move on.
That was pretty good.
It's in Orbos, right next to the vault courts.
Yeah, but you're only gonna like ever get 3 of them, so make sure you know what you want to spend it on. Yeah. Which
You're
basically
never gonna
means
spend
they will.
them, are you,
Nope, they're gonna
bro?
sit in my bags until Dragonflight, 100%. Actually, it's a little bit not as bad this time because like the guides say, here are the 3 things you want to spend your things on. So probably do it. I was probably just wait till I had to. So I'll do it.
They don't give you too many options either.
I used it to get a nice and shiny weapon, since the game just won't give me one.
Yeah. Quartz, did you say where is it?
Yeah, the guide.
Is it? Oh, the guy. I just used the one on Wellhead. I think Icy Veins has one, and I'm sure.
Yeah, Icy Veins has one, Wellhead has one, and there's a guide attached to each class Discord. At least I think the Priest Discord has one.
And there's 3 vendors standing next to each other, not just one of them.
Also, like each of the instances has their own.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It's too far away. I need to get closer.
Okay, night.
I don't have a target.
You're probably safe with a weapon now. I think most of the classes say pick a weapon first.
Yeah, I think that's what most of them say. It's at least one of the things they told me to do anyway.
I'm out of range.
Yeah, it's shamings, but
I think it starts out the normal one, and then you do the confounding antique ciphers to upgrade it to heroic. I think, or something like that. Sounds right? I don't really know.
Yep, that's right.
I would say bombs, at a guess.
Oh, it wasn't the bombs, that was the Sin Bolt volley getting off.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out if I was putting a ring on and it was not up here to interrupt.
It's okay, I was distracted.
Well, that does explain how those all went off.
Yep, it sure do. Only one of us is allowed to be distracted at a time, Cheney.
That's unfortunate. I feel like that's
It's too far away.
That's true, there's just not enough for the healers to do here.
I need to target something first.
You say that so Vincent is encouraged to run into the bombs?
I'm out of range.
It's not like he needs encouragement.
I need a target. It's too far away. I'm out of range. I don't have a target. I need to target
people starve outside.
Ooh,
PvP,
Nolly.
PoE.
Yet these loyalists indulge
That's a pretty ring.
avarice.
As they dance and feast, the jailer amasses an army to destroy the Shadowlands. The fools deserve their fate for believing the lies of Denathrius.
Many valuable weapons adorn these halls. Let us liberate them from the grasp of these aristocrats.
How much versatility does a Mantis rune add?
5%, I think.
Why?
I was trying to figure out how much versatility that really was in real words.
But why?
What?
Why are you thinking about Vanta's runes?
Because I was thinking about Nalu's ring, which has a ton of versatility on it.
Oh.
And I was wondering, is that almost a Bantus rune
Oh,
for
okay.
versatility?
Gotcha.
Nalu knew exactly what I was talking about.
Whenever I see a lot of verse, I think of PvP.
It's too far away.
Whenever I see a lot of verse, I think of Keats.
That was good.
We're gonna do break first since our flasks are about to
Yeah,
expire.
but we'll finish the other
The
half of the
trash.
hallway. Yeah. Did anybody else have loot they didn't want or need while we head towards the boss?
Don't run willy-nilly in there, please.
I don't even see Willy or Nilly in the raid.
Willy-nilly. Higgledy-piggledy.
Oh, he's here.
And his name is Vincent.
We're gonna pull him back.
Nicely.
I need to target something first.
Remember the PvP resilience stat?
Yeah.
It's too far away.
Was that MOP?
I'm out of range.
I think they had it in as early as TBC.
Yeah,
when
they did, but
introduced the arenas.
Yeah.
Collection gathered over eons from across the Shadowlands. They test our authenticity.
Watch out for the disco balls of death.
I need to get closer.
Disco seed.
It's too far away.
Like you could do a parody, Disco Death to the tune of Disco Duck.
What tune is that?
You are unaware of the Disco Duck?
Yes.
Seeds.
Disco, disco death.
Flame knows it.
I want to be.
It's the same tune as Macho Man.
I know. Why is it called Disco Duck?
Because Dr. Demento had
Oh.
a song set to that called Disco Duck.
You guys didn't give us all the Demento, apparently.
No, apparently not.
We did not. We saved it for things like dead puppies.
Yeah, well, they aren't much fun, Mom.
What about fish heads?
They're never seen eating cappuccino in Italian restaurants, though. Alright. So ranged, we're going to hug this green wall here. Move out of the stasis traps when they form. We don't want to get people stuck in the stasis traps. We can, however, clear these stasis traps if our hunters want to, once there's a bunch of them, not like when there's just 2 or 3, use their turtle. Melee are going to be over on the blue side of the boss. Doesn't have to be at blue, but the blue side of the boss. In phase 1 and 2, we are going to put the portals or the wormholes at orange and purple. Oh yeah, I did. Sorry. I'm just so excited! I'm gonna shut up now. Damien else have what they didn't want or need. No one at all.
No, I can't imagine anybody does.
Oh, we have a few pieces this time. Alright, I'm gonna link what we got here. Starting with the anima bead. Sphere roll thing. Hunter, mage, druid. Weapon.
Which one are you rolling on first?
The spherual, which I linked, which is the weapon.
Hunter, mage, druid.
Yep. Does the third hunter want to roll? Yes, he does. But the dice hate him. Gratz Roach.
Yes, the dice definitely hate me.
I know they do.
The only way I can.
Anyone else for the leggings? They are leather leggings. Currently, Cheney is the high roll.
The only roll so far.
Oh, indeed. Alright, Grants Cheney. And a necklace. Haste Mastery necklace. Anyone else? Currently high roll is a 90. Congrats, Totem. And that is it. We'll do this boss when we come back on break. Here's your timer. Saying you're having BattleNet errors, Cheney. Although, I'd say we're all having BattleNet errors, because that happened to me too.
Thank you. Honestly, with just the helm and the cape, I look like a hobo, and I like it.
Checking to see who's back. Let's see. Boulder, Roach is here because I'm talking to them. Tyrael, Nasa, Nadu, and Kioran. Balder's here. I can read chat, that would help me, wouldn't it? Balder's here. Kieran's here, which leaves Tyrael and Nasa. Sorry, I don't know what that slurping sound was. I apologize. So just Flame.
I didn't love you.
Okay, let's see here. Alright. Let me just make sure he's actually back. Sorry, I got distracted when Tim came in and told me he did the dishes, and I was like really excited, and then he's all, oh, don't get too excited, I didn't do all the dishes. Yeah, if you need a flask for second half, put one in the chat, please.
Basically, threw away the paper plates he used for dinner.
Something like that, yeah. No, he did about half of them, he said.
Did you say thank you? Some's better than none?
Yeah, sure did.
Could we get more Lockrocks, please?
That'd be lovely. And then I think we're just missing Nira, which is weird because she was here before.
I'm here.
Oh, okay, cool.
And only one person needs a flask for second half.
That doesn't seem right.
It does.
Well,
We're 17 for.
Right. So, but there are 15, so there's 30.
Well,
so
any
that's
alchemist
true.
doesn't.
I mean, that's fair, Nalu. I get that. Anyone else? Flask before we go here. Okay, so as I was saying, green, ranged, blue, melee-ish. Don't stand the stasis traps. Phase 1 and 2. The wormholes are going at orange and purple for those two phases. And in phase 3, they are going at yellow and moon. Those are the only places. In phase 1, if you get chased by ghosts, you're going to have to kite them. It's helpful if you kite to the wormhole that will hopefully be at orange, bop through, wait till they close to you at purple, and then come back through, and they won't hit you. In phase 2, we're going to need to get the seeds over to purple. I'll do the one where the boss is. I think Withers has been doing the one at the door, and I need somebody to do the one at the boss, or orange. Who's gonna volunteer for me?
What are they volunteering for?
Seed duty.
Carrying the seed? Don't all jump at once.
Listen, I want to, but I'm really slow. Okay, we will all die.
Doesn't seed duty be fairly quick?
Yes.
That leaves me out.
Pretty soon, some people are going to get voluntold.
Right? Is that you, Kaorn?
Yeah.
Cool. It's just the melee one, whichever's here at the front. Alright. And then in phase 3, remember we've got the axe that comes down at moon. And we're gonna get yoinked towards it. You fight against it till the very end. Then you throw yourself into the center of the circle, get popped back out at the wormhole, get back into position. We'll harrow in that third phase. Yeah, that's more or less it. Oh, and healers heal the ouchy painful things. Also put your flask back on.
Did I miss food or do we not drop it?
I don't think anybody dropped food.
Yeah, we didn't drop it.
We need food.
Well, only like 3 people are missing it.
There we go.
Yeah, but it'll expire for people pretty soon, I think.
Five.
Alright, here we go.
4, 4, 3, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
Remember, arranged against the wall here.
I have been hoping to test these relics on live targets.
Watch your step.
Traps. Wormholes coming in. Orange and purple.
Stay away from lines.
Barriers up.
Let us see if the legends of this relic are true. You cannot
Sure, we're switching.
bargain with death.
Run out.
Hide your ghosty ghosties.
Watch your step.
Rude, Tyrael.
Their walk beckons.
Same thing, orange purple.
Stay away from lines. Phase 2.
Phase 2. Same thing though, orange purple every time it comes up. This is the seed phase.
Watch your step.
Barrier.
Stay
Barrier
away from
up.
lines.
Seeds up.
You cannot bargain with death.
Torn base.
Seeds, seeds. Careful that stasis trap up here. We did not get those in the right spot.
Oh, I thought the stasis trap was the goddamn portal.
So did I.
Next set of seeds, people are gonna have to grab them because all 3 of your seed people are dead.
Die together. You cannot bargain with death.
Run out.
New seeds in 14.
Where do the portals go this time?
Orange and purple. Seeds coming up if people can get the one near the boss and the one at the door and the one where the boss started.
Watch your step.
Barriers up.
Destruction is guaranteed.
Torn boss.
Marvelous.
Oh, L. Sorry.
It's okay.
Barrier.
Stay
Barrier.
away from lines.
Same thing, orange and purple. That's better.
Watch your step.
Destruction is
Seeds coming in.
Run out.
More sacrifices to the seed gods! Look at y'all doing it on the fly. People didn't volunteer.
Stay away from lines.
Barrier is available. Kill the barrier.
Torn
And yes,
boss.
orange and purple still.
Watch your
Kill the
step.
barrier. Seeds coming up soon. Sadly lost a lot of people, so this is slow going here.
Yeah, there's a
Mind the
seed
stasis
right in
trap
the
over
middle of
there.
us.
Somebody needs to grab it and just put it through the portal. There we go. We'll just call it a day and try that one again.
The war beckons. To die is your only value.
Watch your step.
Marvelous. Destruction is guaranteed.
Taunt boss.
Al should be self-stoned.
Sadly, not anymore.
Oh, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's alright.
Alright.
I actually have no idea why.
The 291 Ardent Sunstar Signet is selling for 590,000 gold.
But is it actually selling? You know what I mean?
It is listed at that.
That's what I always want to know. Is like, does it actually sell? Because anytime I get one of those, I'm like, ooh, I'm gonna make so much of that. Like, it never sells. Well, it might now that we're not just us, I suppose.
Gear is just us.
Yeah, it's only commodities.
Oh, interesting.
So the things that don't show a count in the hundreds of thousands, those are just us.
Well, I didn't look at the auction house just now. Alright, so if we can get those portals in the right spot, this will go much better. But overall, not a bad first try.
And if we can actually get the barriers down before they explode, that would also help a lot.
Yes.
God, you want so much.
I mean, the barriers were difficult because half the DPS was dead, but...
We actually missed one before the seed exploded, so that we were all alive and we still didn't kill it.
Oh, okay.
And the healers can heal half of it, right?
Yes. I'd say a little less than half, though. It is mostly DPS.
They can contribute.
Yeah.
But I was spam healing that shit and it was not moving.
Boots up.
Maybe you should heal instead of
Needs
spam
to
heal.
put Guardian Spirit on it.
I actually panicked and ran to the wrong spot. That's why we died. So, yeah.
Good job, Quartz.
I do what I can, you know.
Or can't.
Exactly.
So in this fight, am I considered melee?
No, you can stay over here. Because I'm pretty sure the stasis traps can spawn on you.
Yeah, I was gonna say, because if I don't want to keep dropping stasis traps over there if I stand there.
No, we do not.
Check pally ores, please.
I died so hard mine fell off.
You know, Al, you should have really named this character Palantari.
That is true.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 1.
Wonderful! I have been hoping to test these relics on live targets.
Trap soon. Remember, first tears are going orange and purple. Orange and purple. Barrier. Switch. Alright. The problem with this is that it's so far away that we're... Can we bring him any closer or not?
Yeah, no, I mean, I'll just move to the barrier. so we can melee.
Right. I meant, if we stand closer, does it spawn closer?
I don't know.
Because range can barely hit that without getting too close. We don't want stasis traps all up at Yellow Star. It's very annoying.
The war beckons.
Orange and purple.
Stay away from line.
I used to have a song.
I did.
Phase 2, still orange and purple though.
Watch your step.
It was to Winnie the Pooh.
Barrier? Yes, I know, that's what I remember, but I can't remember. Barriers up? Or what song?
Stay away from
But like the Winnie the Pooh. Do 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 do.
Just changed the color. It must have been blue before.
Barrier! So close.
So part of the problem is that barrier comes up when 3 of us are running. For this.
Might be able to wait on that one. I think you called it out, so I dispelled it because you called it.
Okay.
But it still had probably at least.
We could get a res on a healer and then fall over, so we don't have to run back.
Stay away from lines. Watch your step.
Nalu, where are you? There you are. No, wait. Yes. It won't let me use my thing. How rude.
She's got a res.
Oh, that's why. We can die. Die.
Watch your step.
To die is your only value.
Stay dead.
Look like they're a bit bigger than Tasha's. It's not that much bigger. So yeah, based on what we've been given so far, the new D&D
So what
is
happened
going
to
to
us,
be better.
Rob? We got hit and our corpses went through the portal?
No, I mean at the very end it was really the barrier there. I don't know about the rest of it. Because it just already left my head apparently.
Hold on to all those old books.
For me, it was the last thing that hit me was Seed of Extinction, but I went through the portal.
I didn't get one of them up there. I didn't see it in time.
Okay.
Thought on all of this.
So mine didn't really get up very far from its start point.
D&D is a really stupid name. Yes, we're getting new books in 2024, but they're not going to be called 6th edition or 5.5.
Oh.
There's one D&D, as they say, they're getting rid of editions.
Rise and shine.
Yeah, my phone did that too, and every
Or at
other
least tries.
version that doesn't.
It's getting a Brazilian.
This is just marketing, and it's really annoying. Their statement is, there's no more editions of
means she's
D&D,
gonna be
there's
in Mardi
just
Gras.
D&D, one
Yep.
D&D. Yeah,
Carnival.
we've still got to call the different books something. If I've got 3 players' handbooks, I still need a way to designate which one is which. So what, if they make another player's handbook after this one, it'll be 1
All
D&D
right.
2? Anyway, that's all marketing. Just something to remind you that these guys aren't your friends. They're a large, faceless
Remember to
corporation.
not call them out
and
in
they
phase
figured
2.
This
We
is the
got
best way to sell it. Fine. Most of the other things said in the video, I'm going to ignore for now because they're just marketing material. They tell us that they're going to have this great online platform for playing D&D. Maybe they will, but we don't have anything on that.
4, 4, 3, 2, 2, 1, 1.
Wonderful. I have been hoping to test these relics on live targets.
Wraps coming in soon.
Watch your step.
Orange and purple.
Let us see if the legends of this relic are true.
Stay away
Can
from
I get
lines.
help with this
For God's
first
sake.
boss? Stasis trap. Oh, barrier first. Just kidding.
Bargain with death.
Run out.
Shit.
Watch your step.
Traps.
Die together.
Orange and purple.
You cannot bargain with death.
Taunt boss. Stay away from lines.
Earth blasts.
Infinite armies
Spirits
of
coming in.
anticipation to use this relic is killing me.
Barrier is available.
Barrier up. Quick, 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 quick. The seeds are in 10.
Watch your step.
Hey, seeds coming in. Orange and purple, please.
Stay away from lines.
Rip blast.
Destruction is guaranteed.
Run out. Watch your step.
Traps.
The warp beckons.
Seeds in 15. Orange and purple.
Taunt boss. Stay away
This
from
next
lines.
barrier will want to wait on. I don't do this one yet.
Wondrous item is
Just kidding. Now we're at phase 3.
We should do it.
Yep.
Okay.
Barriers up. Everyone murder with haste. Trap.
Barrier, faster, faster.
Yellow and center. Back to yellow there, Roach. Yellow!
To the wall, bro.
Yellow! Other way!
It's okay, we should give him.
Left.
Or not.
I'm gonna put down a speed toad. I didn't catch people, I'm sorry.
We're dead.
Sure are. That's alright. We can get a Wes on one of the healers and then fall over.
A Wes.
A Wes on one of the heroes. Alright, now you can fall over.
I have described the difference between yellow and orange to Roach.
die together.
To be fair, I remember when we were learning this fight at the beginning of the expansion, and that whole make sure you put this in the right. Like, I literally get stupid when it's on me. So I'm like, oh my god, I gotta get the right spot. What are shapes? What are colors? Ah!
It's true.
That's what happens to me. And then, of course, people are like, oh, you're in the wrong spot. So they're like, I'm gonna help by saying words. And then you get freaked out even more. It's just all bad. You know you guys could die, right? Before L's thing.
Trying.
Go stand in a trap.
Watch your step.
Traps actually don't do that much damage.
Yeah, but they prevent you from doing anything, even
True.
subconsciously.
Well, you're gonna have to stand up real quick.
I'm sitting here eating chips. I wasn't doing shit.
Oh, nope. Just kidding. We're all gonna run back.
Should have stoned L unless you used it on the last one.
No, I didn't, but I don't have one.
I'm running back. I can res.
Okay.
Not yet. Yes, it looks like they're coming for Roll20, but they've said all this before, and it didn't work out. So we'll talk about their virtual gaming platform when we actually have something. But we do actually have something. What we have is a preview that they're calling playtest material for how characters are going to work in 2024. So this is real stuff that we can look at, put into play, and actually respond to, as they are calling it an Unearthed Arcana. So let's take a look at the playtest character origins for 1D&D Player's Handbook in 2024. And there's a lot to go through here, and I'm going to do it in the opposite way that they laid it out. They do this a lot, putting things in the opposite order that I would, and then telling you to go look ahead at things. So I'm going to take things in the more logical order, and start with rules and terminology changes. Then we'll go back up to backgrounds and feats, and finally the races. First interesting change we have in rules is that we're now going to be calling D20
Is
rolls
the
for ability
annihilate?
checks, attack rolls, and saving throws D20 tests.
That's
I like
the
it
tries to
just
pull
what
you
it
into the
is.
circle
And
piece.
we've got a few other adjustments to make.
But we
for
couldn't
our
do anything
D20
about it
rolling.
'cause we put the
Firstly,
things
if
in
you
the
roll
wrong
a 1 on a
spot, so-
D20 test, it means you
Okay.
fail. That's not just for
I
attack
just
rolls,
wondered.
but also
No.
for ability checks and saving throws.
Because
It's
why?
kinda old school,
It hurts.
and a lot
It
of
does.
us were
It'll kill
playing
you
like
100%
this
of the
or wanted to
time.
be playing like this
Oh,
for a
yeah.
If you
long
don't do it
time.
correctly.
Then there's rolling a nat
Absolutely
20,
fatal.
which now is an automatic success, not only on attack rolls, but also
unless you're a
saves
tank,
and
sometimes it
ability
is.
checks. Great. And if that's with an attack roll, that means a critical hit. And there's some changes to critical hits. The first, and I think the
It was
biggest
like
change here, is
317 to
weapon strikes have a special
318,000.
feature for player characters, critical hits, meaning that you can get a critical hit. Monsters cannot. I'm not sure if I like that, but it is
All right.
a thing. Which brings
Eat
us
your
to
food,
new
get your
or
lock
altered
rocks.
conditions. And for ease,
Oh,
I'm gonna
if you
start
were
with the new
a
one,
slacker and
which
didn't
is
put your oil
slow.
back on, do
Well,
that too.
New old one. We've had slowed before,
Jesus, Raoul.
and I'm really
Seriously,
happy to see it back.
I swear
I've been annoyed
sometimes-
that it hasn't been around. And
Who
actually
made me a
homebrewed
raid
my
leader?
own. So okay, slowed. You must spend
Believe
one
you
extra
did.
foot
You?
of movement for every foot you move using your speed. Great, half movement.
Got no one to blame but
worded
yourself.
So that you don't get any.
That's
funky
true of
results
most of
at
my
all.
problems in life, honestly.
Like it. Attack rolls against you have
That got
advantage. Okay, and you have disadvantage
Anywho.
on dexterity saving throws.
So you are your
Also
own worst
good.
enemy?
So excellent. I think we'll
Absitive.
see this popping up.
But
in
also
some
her own
spells,
boss, so.
Which brings us to grappled. Grappled sees a
It all
couple
evens
changes.
out.
First, the grappled individual now has
Or it
disadvantage on
compounds.
attack rolls against any target other than the grappler. All right, that generally makes sense. If the grappler is dragging the grappled, he now suffers the slowed condition. This makes it very clear, and wait a second. Okay,
I
so
apparently
when
didn't
the
really check,
grappler
despite the fact that I
has
thought I
a
did.
slowed
Here you go.
condition when dragging
She
the
asked him if she could
rolls
eat
against the
something, a
grappler
piece of
are
candy or
advantage.
something.
I was like
And
10.
Please
He informed
attacks
her that
roll
she was her own
against
boss,
other targets other
which
than the
I then
grappler. So this means now if you
Corrected
grapple
me
someone
on.
and move them,
Yep.
the person you're dragging has advantage on attacks against you. Ooh,
Thank God that was the
that's not
child
gonna
he said
work
that
out
to, really?
The other big change
Like,
is that
she was
escaping
not
a
going to take
grapple
advantage
no
of that
longer
misstep,
requires
whereas others
using
might
an
have.
action. Instead, it just gets to try at the end of each of its turns. Okay, some big changes there, and at least in one case, I think someone's going to have to work on that. And finally, they've adjusted the incapacitated condition. You can't take actions or reactions. That's the same. But now your concentration is broken. You can't
Orange
speak,
and purple.
And if you are incapacitated when you roll initiative, you have disadvantage on the
Watch
roll.
your step.
Sure.
Traps.
Next noticeable change is for inspiration. And I'm bugged by this.
There.
They really needed to change the name
Swapsy
of this,
wops.
but they didn't. So we still have
Near
inspiration
it's on you.
and bardic
Berry,
inspiration.
berry, berry.
So that
Everyone
every
berry.
time at my table it's used.
More berry.
Someone can say, well, wait, do I have an inspiration
Even
or
more
a bardic
barrier.
inspiration?
Beautiful.
Okay, I'm adding my inspiration die to... Oh, no, that's the bardic
Spirits?
inspiration. Inspiration just
This
allows
trap.
you to announce that you're going to have advantage on your next D20 test. They're ramping up inspiration to be something actually important in the game, as opposed to something people
Traps.
always forget. Currently, you get inspiration as a reward for good roleplay from the DM, and players can pass them around. That's still the case, but in 1D&D, the main way you get inspiration is by rolling a nat 20 on a D20.
Orange and
You
purple.
also lose it if you don't use it before the start of a long rest. And I also like that. It encourages people to use it. Inspiration's a nice game mechanic, and I like seeing it become more.
Phase 2.
There's a few other
Still
minor
orange and
adjustments
purple.
to things, but the only one I think is important is tremor sense. Tremor sense is the ability to know where things are by feeling them through the ground.
You're
Usually this
telling
is
her
then
to
a
wait
trait
for
of
apple
blind
seeds?
monsters.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
important element of tremor
will.
sense here is that it doesn't count as a form of sight.
Seeds coming in?
Why is that important? Because there's a whole lot of spells. that use
Orange and
sight.
purple.
So you can't be a blind
Orange and
tremor sense
purple.
caster. With the rules out of the way, let's dig into
Cina's
things
still in
and
melee.
backgrounds. With backgrounds, they're leaning hard into construct your own background, which is what most of us did anyway. Your
I need to
ability
dispel
score
the barrier
increases,
soon.
that is
We're good,
your
we're
plus
back.
2 to 1 ability score and plus 1 to another, or your plus 1 to 3 different ones, is now part of your background, as opposed to part of your race. Mechanically, this
Crap.
really doesn't make any difference, not since Tasha's. In fact, I wouldn't have put it in background, I would just put it as part of your ability score generation.
Orange and purple.
Then for your background, you choose 2 skill proficiency, 1 tool proficiency, and 1 language. Before we had the option of 2 tools
Yeah,
or
long
of 2
life
languages,
choice.
but now it's 1 tool language.
Try to put a speed totem for
Here,
us to
however,
get back
is
to
the big
Moon.
difference. Choose one
Seeds
first
coming up.
level feat. So in those little few words, we get the biggest change for the game. As I predicted in previous videos, everyone is getting a feat now at first level. And second, there's such a thing as first level feats. So feats are now leveled. All feats are not available at the same level. The one thing I am sad to see, though, is the early features for background. You know, things such as if you were the Acolyte, you got free lodging with your church. I actually used this a lot in my game. Suppose it didn't need to be spelled out mechanically. Still, I'll kind of miss those. We'll skip over the sample backgrounds because they don't really
We'll leave Yellow and Moon.
Instead, let's take a look at those.
We're in
And
danger.
if you're thinking,
Yeah, we
well,
are.
we're all gonna be
I don't
the
have my
speed
speed totem either, so.
Not necessarily. There's some
Didn't
real
realize we'd
winners.
transitioned.
We'll start with Alert. Alert's gone through some changes. The Alert feat used to give you a +5 to initiative.
I didn't
It
either.
now gives you a plus to your initiative equal to your proficiency bonus. At most levels of play, this is way, way weaker.
Request.
Math. 3 is less than 5. The old Alert feat also gave you a couple
Wanna
of
res anyone?
that were completely unimportant and nobody cares. But the new one has
Probably
a
a
second
DPS.
part, which is initiative swap. Immediately after you
Yellow
roll
and Moon.
initiative, you can swap your initiative with the initiative of one willing ally in the same combat.
If we can clear
So
the
does this make
traps
the
in front of
new
us,
Alert
yeah, that'd be
better
awesome.
or
Barrier.
worse than the
We're
old
probably
one?
gonna die this
It really
barrier
depends on
anyway, I
your party
suppose.
makeup. In the right party, this could be a big buff. However, for any party outside of solo play, this is going to be more fun. Our second feat is Crafter, and this is what we call a garbage feat. No one's going to be taking this, mainly because it is 3 artisan tool proficiencies. And boy, they're going to have to do some wild changes to the game in order to make 3 artisan tool proficiencies worth anything. Let's face it, if you were looking for tools, it wasn't artisan tools you were looking for. Thieves' tools? Yes. Tinker's tools? Not so much. But then it's got 2 add-ons, which are just terrible. Discount. Whenever you buy a non-magical item, you receive a 20% discount on it. And fast crafting. Whenever you try to craft something using
Yellow.
your tool proficiency,
Yep, Yellow and Moon.
how often does that happen? The required crafting time is reduced
There
by
is a-
20%.
well, is
if you
available.
actually are crafting things in your games, are you usually
How
doing
so?
it when time is?
Yeah,
an
we probably need
important
to
factor?
watch that we don't do
Is
that
it
on
just
top of
terrible?
Annihilation.
Many bars
But
of
Yeah.
persuasion
Oh, I-
do a
yeah,
better
didn't-
job
I
of
thought it was further
discounting
away
their prices than this.
than it is.
Next is Healer.
I don't know when
which
it
has been
is.
rewritten.
It's
It was
in a
bad
couple seconds,
before,
although it may
now
have
it's still not good enough.
expired before then
Known
anyway,
healings
so.
on a single creature had been capped at 1 between rests. Well, now the cap is a number of hit dice, since the wounded creature spends its own hit dice when healed. I like additional ways to use hit dice in the game, and being able to heal a damaged colleague multiple times is an improvement. The feat also lets you reroll ones.
I do
when you
have a
heal,
soul
which
stone
includes
this time.
spells. If you're a caster and that consumes all your healing, but you're willing to take a
Yeah.
feat, you'd be better off choosing one of the multiple druid or cleric subclasses that do a better job of buffing healing. So
Yeah, not bad. We
it
just gotta
sucked before, and it still
clean
sucks.
up some
In
stuff.
a game with pretty much no healing magic, this is okay. In a normal game, this is kind of terrible. I'd take it over Crafter, though. Bringing us to our next feat, which is Lucky. And what the hell is Lucky doing as a first level feat? It's one of the best feats in the game.
So was
I'm looking
the
over this whole document, I'm
portal
getting the
supposed to
idea
be
that Wizards of the
on
Coast doesn't consider
Moon
rerolls
and
to be
Star at the
nearly
time?
as powerful
Yeah, in
as
phase
I do.
3. So as soon
take
as we
Lucky,
transition to
which is gonna be
stage
your
3, it's
default
yellow
choice for a
and
feat.
Moon.
All right, you have luck points.
Well, or,
but
I
you
mean,
no
it's really
longer
just
have
against that
just
yellow wall. It
3
doesn't
of
have to be
them.
right
You
at yellow.
have
So, like, that
proficiency
one
bonus
time,
number of
the
them.
portal was
That
in the
means
correct
you
position, but there
have
were 2
less of
stasis
them
traps, like,
at your
right
first couple
on it.
levels.
So if that
After that,
happens,
you
just
have the
put, like,
three
a
you
tish
expect,
to the
and it
side
can
and it
go
will be
up.
fine.
This actually makes Lucky more powerful than before.
Positioning on this
After all,
essential.
most people weren't taking it at first level anyway, so the fact that it's weaker at first level, not terribly important. So yeah, Lucky becomes better.
Can we get more
There's a couple
food?
changes
Waxed
to
or
wording.
unwaxed?
Your luck points aren't just letting you re-roll anymore. Rather, they're giving you advantage on a roll immediately after you roll a d20 for a d20 test. So you can have advantage after you roll the die? That's new. Okay, I can see why they wanted the wording like this. This means you can't use luck anymore when you've already got advantage. But it also stops some weird situations with disadvantage that people were calling having super advantage because basically you got to choose from having 3 die rolls. By making Lucky give you advantage, even if it is after die roll, that means if you had disadvantage before, you can use this to cancel out the disadvantage instead of giving you an extra roll. Yeah, that's not as strong, but it's nearly as strong. And in 99% of cases, it won't change anything. Now, the other alteration is that when a creature rolls an attack roll against you and you use your luck against his roll, that now imposes disadvantage. That seems like a nerf to this, but one, note they didn't say if that's immediately after the roll. Well, you're going to say, well, they don't have to say that because disadvantage doesn't work that way. Grant it before the roll. But apparently that's not true anymore. We can have advantage after the roll now, so I assume you can have disadvantage after the roll. So it's not clear, but the bigger reason this isn't a nerf is if you recall, monsters don't have critical hits on you anymore. So it's not like you're saving your luck point
Here
for
we
when
go.
someone had a crit against you. Overall, I'd say Lucky has gotten a buff at higher levels of gameplay. At lower levels, minor nerf, it's still one of the best feats in the game. I like what they've done with it.
Perhaps
It's all
soon.
good. Which leads us to Magic Initiate, which I like to call the feat you take if you're not taking Lucky or Alert.
Traps.
Magic
Out of the
Initiate
traps.
was a great feat, and now it's a greater one.
Barrier.
They've made exactly the changes to it that
Murder,
I
murder.
expected them to make.
And orange
That
and
is,
purple.
they updated the word the same way you expect things to do after Tasha's. You get 2 cantrips and 1 spell. And now for that spell, not only do you get a free casting of it, but you can
Read the
also
trap.
cast it with spell slots, which, depending on the spell
Spirits?
you choose, could be a big deal. And that's a nice adjustment. Also, you can choose whether you want to use Intelligence, Wisdom, or Charisma for it, instead of your ability score use for the spell being pinned down by what class you take. So that's all a big buff for this feat, and it's the expected one. Perhaps a little less expected is that you no longer choose a class that you're taking your spells from, but rather you
Orange and
choose
purple.
a spell list. That is Arcane, Divine, or Primal. We're getting terms back from 4th edition. Okay, what's Arcane, Divine, and Primal lists? Well, pretty much what you think they are. They list them out here at the end, which is Arcane spells are your wizard spells, or wizard, sorcerer, warlock. Your divine spells are your cleric spells, also figure paladins in there. And your primal spells are your druid spells, and also
Orange
figure
and purple.
a few interesting things to note from these lists. They're only including spells from the player's
barrier
handbook
as soon as there are no
that
seeds.
may cause some DMs to only
It
allow
gets dicey,
these
you can
specific
spell it.
spells that are listed here to be ones that you can take with Magic Initiate. And
Well,
if
that's
so,
saying
that's
for
certainly
people.
going to weaken Magic Initiate. However, this
Barrier
document
up.
doesn't say that, and so there's no reason why you can't include the spells.
Traps.
Tasha.
Can we get a res on withers?
You just got to figure out which spell list they belong on, and that's pretty easy. The Bard-only Vicious Mockery does belong with the Arcane spells, and notice
Orange
that
and purple.
Eldritch Blast is on no lists, making me think that there's a good chance that Eldritch Blast isn't going to be a spell anymore, that they're going to turn it back into being a Warlock feature. As far as what you choose, these haven't changed that much. You're choosing Primal only for the same reason you'd ever have chosen
Seeds
Druid
come in,
before,
gonna need somebody to
which
get the one
meant
from
to
the
get
door.
Woodberry. Divine you went for to grab
And the one at the
Rice,
center, 'cause
and then
Kieran's
you
out of
get
position,
Bless or
'cause he's
Healing
rezzing.
spell. And Arcane you go to if you need an attack
wait till
cantrip.
after
Got it,
otherwise
yes.
This is where you get Find Familiar.
Barriers up.
I like everything about this, and it is certainly buffed
Perhaps.
up the spell. And this has one
Get it in
big
a second.
effect on character creation, which is races that give spells are no longer as important as they were before.
Wraps
After
up.
all, at first level, anyone can take this and get themselves 2 cantrips and a spell. For bards and
Well,
sorcerers,
you also have
desperate for
Well,
extra spells
I mean-
and cantrips, particularly bards. and
Time it
sorcerers.
exactly
They don't
right
have to
might
push
be
for
alright.
races that just
Yeah.
want that, because they
Oh,
can
no,
just
wait,
go,
it's
"Here,
an-
you
out of
want
it,
your
never
bard
mind.
to have an attack cantrip? Take this feat at
Just
first level and he's got it. Your sorcerer
I don't
just
know
need an
why I
extra spell,
cannot tell when
unless
the
they're
fuck he
Tasha's
transitions, because
sorcerer.
it should not be that hard.
He's
but-
not saying something that he used to say, because it's been less noticeable to me as well. I finally noticed he was doing an Edge of Annihilation cast that I saw. That's the only reason I know. That he
got
did
it.
like a
health Next comes on new feat.
Yeah, it
Musician.
is.
It is. I thought it was like 36 though,
Music
and
instruments.
I think it's 30.
And then it also allows.
But he
you,
does a
after
Edge of
a
Annihilation
long
cast,
rest,
which makes
to
the
play
axe
your
fall
music
down,
instruments
and that's
and give
another
everyone
side
an
of his
inspiration.
transition.
Not a
right,
bardic
but that's when the bad thing is happening. So far, things
No.
are in the right position.
Well,
that
that might be after we've had those down.
Of
I
note,
guess I don't.
this is stepping on the toes of the bard.
The Edge of
Yeah, I
Annihilation is the
Well,
there, and
it's
there- the
not
axe
a
wasn't
bad
there,
feat.
so I thought
Certainly,
we
it's
were
nice to get an inspiration.
Yeah.
Remember, you get an inspiration if you roll a nat 20. So the more
Tech
rolls
roll
characters
Annihilation,
do,
that's the
more
drag.
likely they are
The
to
edge
already
is
have an
makes
inspiration.
But yeah,
So
I think it happens.
Whatever.
this is
We'll
bad.
try it one more
I
time.
would have certainly preferred something.
We
already
would be
Everyone.
fine if we could keep
Music
track of when
instruments. At
phase
least
3
give a
was.
proficiency in
I
performance.
feel like the
But
transitions
okay,
are not
not
announcing the
terrible,
way they
but
have
it's
used
No,
to.
I would agree. I feel like it's slipped
I'm
back
having the
when it
same
was
problem
initially.
realizing when the
It was
seeds are
around
going to be
before.
up.
It's
So.
pretty much the same.
I mean, that was a
They
seed
pulled the word
sacrifice
in a
on my
bit,
part
but it
because
does
I
the same
didn't get
stuff.
to it
It wasn't
until it was halfway
okay, but
there,
not
so
good
all I
enough
did
to
was get it
actually
out.
take
That was
feet
the only
before,
purpose.
and that's still true.
I feel bad
Then
because I
there's
was
skilled.
like, oh, it
That's
was
the
too
same
late.
as
I
before.
couldn't make it
A
onto
feat
the
I
wall.
only really
But I
liked
didn't
on
need to make it to the
rogues,
wall. I just
and
needed to
nothing
make it to
changes.
the middle.
Next comes Tavern Brawler, which used to be a half.
So that time that,
anymore.
you know, we didn't
Like
quite get
before,
the
it
things
changes
right,
your unarmed
everybody
strike
died.
to being
Whoever,
a
I think
D4
maybe one or
instead
two of you
one,
put down a
and you
speed
get to
totem.
reroll
It was
damage
awesome
rolls
because
when you roll a 1
basically I
with your
just
unarmed
ran
strike,
in place
which is
outside
weird. The
of
old
the
version,
circle. You don't
you could
have to
attempt
get sucked
grapple
in.
someone when you hit
Yeah, I mean, if you can get into it fast enough and all those other things, it works sometimes, but we don't want to count on it because then it's not there when we have an oopsie whoopsie, you know.
Proficient with improvised weapons, which makes me
Yeah, the
think
oopsie whoopsie
that
was
we
that
are no
the
longer going to
portals
have
were in the wrong
improvised
place. So
weapons.
Yeah, because we didn't realize we had transitioned. I don't think
Right.
that was people didn't know where they were going. It was we didn't catch that it was.
No, absolutely. But the point was that instead of us trying to, get sucked into the middle and pop out and hope you time it just right, just keep running on the outside, never go in. So those speed totems really helped because I never had to go in, and I survived
R5
that.
feet is tough, and it's the same as it was before. It's good before.
You can usually
it's
do
good
that
now.
on the first
it's not a top
two.
three,
The third
but
one
there's
will be
certainly
too
some
strong.
builds that will at least want to look at this. And yeah, those are our 10 first level feats. You will get one of them, no matter what you build. And I kind of
I
love
have
that.
never noticed that they
I
had
do
different
hope that
pulls
they
across
have some
the
minor
things.
adjustments
They
to a
do,
couple of
because if
these,
you
but overall,
run
a
out
nice
with your
that
Fey
brings us to what they
blink,
put
you can
first,
do it on the first
and
two, but the
that's our
third one's too
races.
strong to
And
pull
the
you
first
in.
real noticeable
never
change
noticed.
we have with our races is there's
good
no
to know.
half races.
All right.
Half elves and half orcs are gone. Instead, they're dealing with what they're calling children of different humanoid kinds in, well, what we'll call a not particularly useful way. If you want to be half one race and half another, then you simply choose one of those to give you all your mechanical stats, and then you can choose the flavor from both. So if you want to play a half elf, it's an elf. But then
Here
you
we
can
go.
say, but my ears aren't pointed because of my human side. Or your half elf can just be a human with pointed
I think at this point,
ears.
anybody who
also
notices
means
this
that you
first
can
can
have
call it
a
out.
half human,
100%.
1/4
We're all
elf,
having trouble
1/4
noticing it.
dragonborn. The thing about all that is that's not actually mechanics. That's telling
Perhaps.
you how to run your flavor. And I really don't like it.
Like
when
there's
they tell
800
me
things
how
to watch
run
for.
your
Barrier?
flavor. I can do that on my own. I can allow my players to change how
orange
their
and purple.
characters look any way I want. If one of my players runs a human, but wants the human to be polka dotted, I can give that to them if I want. That's just flavor. It doesn't make any difference to the game. We don't need rules for that. This is a non-rule. All right, it's fine. And we start with humans, which are pretty much variant humans now. The old humans are gone, and since our new humans are the variant human, this is automatically a buff for them, since penalty for getting that extra feat at first level was you got less for your ability scores. That's not true anymore, since ability scores are in
Are you sure
background.
we're in
So
phase
all
2?
humans now getting a feat at first level. By the way, this is worded as
There we
you
go.
get the skilled feat or another first level feat. Well, I guess it's good to give it a default. I think it's probably better
Feats
to
and 10.
just word this as you get a feat and figure people are
Traps.
intelligent enough to choose one. But alright, you also get one skill, great, and you gain an inspiration
Orange and
whenever
purple.
you finish a long rest. I mentioned inspiration is going to be more of a thing. Here you go. You can see that in the party of all humans, that musician feat, which gives out inspiration, is going to be a little weak.
I'll try to drop
Final
my
thing to
speed
note for
totem.
humans is that they can be medium, 4 to 7 feet tall, or small, 2 to 4 feet tall. This, by the way, makes
Area's up.
capable of being
We
shorter.
want to wait a
than
little longer,
dwarves
but I
or
think we
gnomes.
can. Maybe
Next we
everybody's
get
back.
our new race.
Yeah, well, we
Yes,
weren't
we've got
back
a new
because
one.
the
It's
things
called
weren't in the right
Outling.
spot.
They're new upper plains beings, and they look like humans with animal heads. Think Egyptian gods. There's some flavor tossed in. Don't care
Pick up
about
Nala
flavor.
if you want.
Again, medium size or small, but their small can only go down to 3 feet. All right. Actual features, they have 2. Angelic
Pick up
flight,
Nala.
which is not flying, it's jumping. Pretty sure.
And somebody's gonna need to get the one at the door here, 'cause
well,
Withers is dead.
Barbarian with this. They get to fly, in quotes, during their turn, at the end of which they need to be back on the ground or they fall. So they get a
Needs
really good jump.
somebody to
So
the
This
door.
is nice if you need to go straight up, and you've got something to hang on
Thank
to
you.
and get up there. But it's also nice
Appreciate
that this
you
is a
deeply.
bonus action, so it is extra movement that you get to use.
Okay, ready for barrier?
It's not bad. And then
It's
you get
up.
spells. You choose your Celestial Legacy, Exalted, Heavenly, or Idyllic, and they suggest which animal heads you stick on. Which ones? You can stick any
Drift
animal head
Blast?
you want, since again, it's
Phase 3.
spells.
Yellow and
You
moon.
choose
Yellow
Cemetery
and
to Divine
moon,
Favor,
perfect.
Endless Restoration, or Light,
Hey,
Cure
we caught it
Wounds,
this time.
Zone of Truth, or Guidance,
It's
Healing Word,
40%.
and Animal Messenger.
Yeah, I was way sooner than I
Well,
thought.
Since everyone can now choose Magic Adept and grab a couple cantrips
Yellow and moon.
first level spell, this is definitely weaker than it would have been before. All the more
As soon as
so
we do
because
the
these
axe,
are not
I'll
a great
do
grouping
Harrow.
of spells. Zone of Truth and Animal Messenger, not spells I'm usually dying to grab. On the other hand, Guidance is a really good spell. So 90% of the time I expect anyone to go Idyllic to get Guidance and Healing Word. I mean, Light's a fine cantrip, but would I really choose Light and Cure Wounds over Guidance
Good job.
and Healing Word?
There's Harrow.
Never. Just never. I wouldn't
There's
even bother
up.
comparing Zone of
Swaps
Truth
you up.
and Animal Messenger because who
Stay
cares?
with
This is
the
a pretty
light.
decent
Drift
race,
Blast.
and that bonus action
Same
movement
thing.
is nice,
We get new
but I can't
tears,
stand
moon,
very
and
excited
yellow.
about the art. Next we have the Dragonborn. We just had an update
Moon and
to
yellow.
the Dragonborn in Fizzbans. Why aren't we using that Dragonborn? It wasn't overpowered.
Perhaps.
It was good, but not one of the great races. But now they've dialed it back with this Dragonborn being much closer to the old player's handbook Dragonborn. And while they've adjusted the breath weapon slightly for damage, it's still not a very good race. They've gotten rid of all the gem dragon stuff that Fizzman's brought in, and they've decreased your choices with breath weapons such that it only gives a 15-foot cone now instead of being able to do a line. Honestly, you wanted a 15-foot cone anyway, so that's fine. You do get dark vision.
Trap
so
right near yellow,
that's
so be
a
careful.
buff from
I
the
want the
original
next one a little offset.
design, not from Fizzman's. And
Oh,
unlike
thanks, that works.
Fizzman's, but like how it was in the player's handbook before,
There,
your
you're
breath
up.
weapon takes an action, meaning
quick,
Dragonborn
with its murder.
become lousy melee combatants after your class
Yellow and
gets
moon.
extra attack. So, yeah, this Dragonborn is ever so slightly better than the original player's handbook one, but it's not very good, because the old one wasn't very good, and I
Rift Blast?
don't really understand why they didn't just use the Fizzbins one. Okay, dwarves, which cannot be as short as humans. They got dark vision, dragon resistance to poison, dwarven toughness, so they get an extra point. They get forge wise, which means they get a tool proficiency. So good. What's notably lacking is the weapons and armor you could pick up with a dwarf before. Pretty much why you were taking a dwarf, but you could also manage from the old dwarves to get up to 4 points of ability.
Finish him off.
Can't do
Finish
that
him.
anymore. So in general,
Did
what
finish
dwarves
him.
is-
More finishing.
we knew that was coming. They're
He hasn't
taking away
fallen over
the
yet.
defensive weapons and armors from any
Yay.
Given in its place is Stone Cunning. As a bonus action, you gain
Now we get
out
to just
range
do
of
Sun
60
King
feet
on
for 10
Thursday.
minutes. Does this make up for the lack of armor and weapons?
Anyone
It's got
with
2 whole days to
Depending
figure
on
out
what
what
kind
to
of
do
build.
instead,
If you
right?
can set it up that
chill
you're
out,
fighting a lot
teacher-
in darkness,
parent-teacher
this can be
conference
very
that
good.
night.
And what builds would now be looking to have a bit of magic, some way of casting darkness.
Anyone else
But
that they don't
wouldn't
want or
necessarily
need
wanna build
from
pure
second half.
spellcasters on a dwarf because, as mentioned before, Tremor Sense is not a type of sight, so you can't use it when you're casting spells. Bringing us to elves. And we still have 3 types of elves. We get the normal elf.
I was really
stuff we
hoping
had
that was gonna
before,
work.
so dark
That was
vision,
so
keen
disappointing.
senses that
Yeah, we'll go do
perception
world boss
skill,
here.
Fey ancestry, so that
Anyone
you can
else that
sense
they don't
saving
want or
throws
need,
you
but
make
we'll
to
do it
avoid
quick
or
first
end the
before we
charm
go.
condition.
But
Great. And you get
where is he
trance,
this week?
which means you
The
don't
world
need
boss?
to sleep, and magic can't put
It's
you
in the
to
regular
sleep.
ones. It's in
Here we go
Arden
again.
Weald.
We just had changes to the Elven Trance. It just
Anyone
happened.
else
They had just changed
they don't want
Trance
or
so that
need?
it gave us some rotating proficiencies in Monsters of the Multiverse. And now they're changing it back. Didn't they
Alright,
think
here's
about
what
all
we've
of
got.
this when they made
It's
Monsters of the
wrist night
Multiverse? Did they not know
for
this was
second
coming
half
up?
here.
Have
Leather
they done any
wrists.
planning for this? I expected changes in the new books. I didn't expect them to undo changes. But okay, so Trance is back to the way it was before. Okay, then you get to choose your Elven lineage. Drow, High
rolled
Elf,
on
and
the-
Wood Elf. And what this basically means is spells.
May I one
They all
yet?
give you a cantrip along with a spell at 3rd level and 5th, and these spells follow
Apparently I just
rules.
rolled 49
So
tonight.
you get
That's
one
exactly
free
what I rolled for
casting
my
of
last
the ones
piece.
at
I also
the
have a
5th
neck
level,
piece.
and otherwise you
That'll
cast
roll
in
in
spell
after.
slots, and you can choose intelligence.
No one else?
which
Otherwise,
offers
I'm
master
giving him to
casting.
Withers.
Great. Definitely a bit of a buff for all of
Withers,
these.
male
for Drow,
ones.
it's Dancing Lights, Fairy Fire, and Darkness, which are the 3 that the Drow was getting before. Drow's also getting Dark Vision increase to 100.
I like that. Like that
and you'll
roll's
note
not
no
rigged.
longer having sun sensitivity, but we knew that was happening. They're getting
think
sun
JLR.
sensitivity for any player race.
I mean,
The
it's
High
not
Elf
that
gets
much of an... Oh, and some
Prestidigitation, but
boots.
can
So
swap
just
it
a
out
second.
with anything from the Arcane list after a long rest, Detect Magic, and Misty Step. And wow, this is a step up. And finally, the Wood Elf gets Druid Craft,
level is the
Long
World
Strider,
Boss gear
and
now?
Pass Without Trace,
285?
along with a 35-foot speed increase.
We're staying on the main. then.
I've always liked
I'm
Drow
gonna
magic.
pass,
Of the
which
3, it's certainly
means
the loser now.
Tachi, I
but
think,
as
is the
always,
next
it
highest
depends a little
roll.
bit on your build. Maybe you really want Darkness. But of the cantrips, clearly the High Elf is
What was the
way
other roll
ahead.
that was up?
Prestidigitation alone is a good cantrip, but the
Well,
High
I have
Elf isn't
boots and a
getting
neck
that. It's
piece.
getting
Just
anything
hadn't
it
linked
wants
them yet 'cause
whenever it
people were
wants
slow
it
to
from
trade.
the Arcane spell list. So if it needs an attack cantrip, great, it's got one. If it doesn't, choose something else, and the nice thing is that versatility of being able to swap them in and out.
This for the
You're
class
fighting
feat?
for a while,
Both
but you
hearth
really need
and
to fix
die?
the wagon wheel, pick up mending.
Yeah,
Detect
just to
magic
make
is
sure.
fine, but Misty Step, of course, is the one to get.
Seems
So
a little
High Elf
excessive
coming
there,
out way
Quartz.
on top. The Wood Elf,
Oh,
Druid
no,
Craft is
you
even
want
weaker than
loot.
Dancing Lights, and Dancing Lights is at least
Come on,
fun,
guys,
and you
something
can
could
do
be
some
me.
cool things with it. Druid Craft.
Anyone else for the feet?
Long
I
Strider,
already
pretty
left the
unexciting.
raid.
Pass Without Trace, on the other hand, can be great. It's a really good spell.
Grats
You do
Quartz
run into
for
a situation
feet,
that
and
only one person
Claw.
in the party
No,
needs
not
Pass
Claw.
Without Trace.
Neck
Whereas
piece.
everybody in the party is good with Misty Step. So if no one has Pass Without Trace in the party, then the Wood Elf is a pretty good choice. If
It's like
anybody
Tuscan, unless
else
everybody's
has
gonna try to
it,
beat
then
that
the
98.
High Elf,
My
again,
goodness.
is clearly the winner here. Next is Gnomes, who also get to keep lineages, even though the Deep Gnome
Y'all
was
do the
already
world
split
boss.
out in Monsters.
Yes,
and
we're
Multiverse.
planning to do the road
Note,
boss.
Gnomes are small, but only
uh,
1 to 3 feet. So again, humans
Beautiful
shorter.
Mage
They
put
still
up
have dark
another.
vision as before. They
What's
have
the
gnome
Medusa? Oh my
cunning
goodness,
as
what are so many
before,
rolls? Anyone
which is
else?
why you play a gnome.
Vincent rolled
Because Vincent
Vincent rolled a million
plus
times.
Yep, I got it. I figured it out
you
fast. So
choose your
Tuscan is
force
still.
And he
to
still
roll.
didn't. He
If you're
still
a
didn't
forest
beat
gnome,
him.
you
He
get the
did not.
minor illusion cantrip. Fantastic cantrip. And since everyone can choose
Where
magic
are
at
we
first
headed?
level, not quite so exciting to get it through your race, but it's a good
Good
cantrip.
Okay, thanks.
And also get to speak
Thanks,
with
thanks.
animals, which you can cast
Quartz,
efficiency
where are
bonus
ya?
anytime
Where?
for long rest. Besides using spell slots. Boy, I haven't
Find
been
ya.
in a game where you want to
Trying to get
cast
away from
speak with
Jamie.
animals all that often. I suppose in the right game, it's good.
I don't see her dot
Somewhere-
near
Oh,
you.
let's be frank. Speak with animals is not the spell
No,
that you're dying
I
to
was
get
fine
hold
with
of.
World Boss.
Platinum gets mending and prestidigitation, and before they could make tiny devices, well, they still can.
Which
but
boss
now
Might need
it's
a-
done with prestidigitation.
It's the one in
A gnome
Ardenweald.
can make up to 3.
Let's say I might need a
devices
summon because I'm
that
running out
do
to
one
like
of the effects of
We're gonna do the
prestidigitation.
boss in Ardenweald?
the world boss in Ardenweald. Yes.
Oh, I thought we were doing the one over at wherever.
Nope. It's when it's
Switches.
Nathria week. It does the ones that are the original world bosses. Tusk.
I thought we were doing Fair Morris.
Say again, sir.
I thought we were doing the one in Fair Morris.
Nope, because that one only is 285s when that raid is faded, so it doesn't give us 285s this week. So they made each of the world bosses associated with one of the faded raids. So the ones that are in the 4 zones are with Castle Nathria. The one from the boss with Sanctum, and the one in Zereth Mortis is with Sepulchre. Don't let me forget to give you a salute, Tuscan.
Okay, thank you. I'll put up a stone. I'm almost there.
Yep.
The hunt must go.
Are we killing it now?
Strike true.
No, because we're not all there yet. And if it's up and you want to punch it, go for it, but we still need to summon people.
Thanks for the radio. Have a good night.
Nice and neat. This probably just means you're going to have 3 lighters that you hand out to your party, although flame extinguisher is nice. I really like the idea that you
I
hand
think
out
he wants
3
the
very
gear. He
small
just doesn't want to risk being standing
But
next to
lineage stuff
Cheney
is
out
fine.
there.
I'm gonna
I
work
got
towards
him
being
his
able to take
gear.
minor illusion
I
if
took
find
pity
out
on
what
him.
other way
I
can
nailed him
pass
with the
and
head while he was
have,
getting
but
his
again,
gear
you
from
choose
Rob.
gnome or gnomish cunning. That's all here.
Nice.
Making the gnome still a great race. And
No,
still
I even mean like
for
the
any
world
kind of
boss loot.
Next we
Like you'd have to actually stay and
halflings,
fight
and here we finally have a
Oh,
race
yeah,
that
the
can
world
short
boss.
humans. They
They're
still
like,
have
nah, it's
courage,
not
they
worth
still
it.
have halfling nimbleness. They still have their luck, where you get to
very
re-roll a 1 on a
funny thing
d20,
was I was
which is a
trying to get
really
the
good
stone
ability.
wood,
I've
and I
been
saw
shocked
Cheney was
playing a
there, and I was like,
halfling.
oh.
How seldom it's
So I just
come up.
died.
I
Just
guess
did.
I just rolled the dice. And then they have naturally stealthy, as in a proficiency in the stealth skill. There
Need
are
one
no
more to
longer
put the
different
summon.
lineages of halfling. I prefer
Thick.
the concept to have the different lineages. In practice, this is all good as is. And then we have orcs.
I've
Yes,
got
I
to run
added
back to the
orcs
heart of the
because they
forest
got rid
right
of
quick.
half-orcs. So if
Oh.
you want to be a half-orc now, you're basically an orc, and you make yourself look a little bit...
I forgot to take the quest
Unlike
on this
for
guy.
Dragonborn and elves, they have not undone anything with
So
orcs.
let me run back to the heart of the
orcs we get
forest and
here
I'll get
are
in on
exactly
another
the
guy.
same as the one they just
Poor
published.
thing.
So, Adrenaline Rush, give him a dash action as a bonus action and some temporary hit points, Dark Vision, a higher carrying capacity, and Relentless Endurance, so when reduced to 0 hit points, they're actually 1 hit point. I appreciate the no change.
Night, Itachi.
And our
And
final
yes, we do
race
bother.
is Tieflings. They can be small or medium, again not as small as humans, still have dark vision, but now they have legacies. Now Toma of Foes gave us bloodlines for the Tieflings, and a lot more of them. The legacies we've got now are Abyssal, Chthonic, and Infernal. And what they give you is like the Elf or Ardling, they give you spells that function the same way those spells do. And in this case, your resistance. So for Abyssal, resistance is poison damage, spells are Poison Spray, Ray of Sickness, and Hold Person. Chthonic, your resistance is necrotic, Your spells are Chill Touch, False Life, and Ray of Enfeeblement. And Infernal, resistance is fire damage, and your spells are Firebolt, Hellish Rebuke, and Darkness. Firstly, this is a buff from the old Player's Handbook version, though not necessarily from
Let me
the
pick up the
Foes
quest.
versions. Simply because you have
Or I do it without
and
another
it's
one.
also a buff
I
because
invited you,
Infernal is now getting Firebolt. So
It was just
we
an
get
invite, not a
attack
summon.
cantrip. And for some classes, that's going to be a nice boost. Again, everyone can take Magical Adept, so it's not as big a boost
whatever
as it
this
would have
is,
been
a
before.
shareable quest
But your
he's
average
talking
bard
about.
is going to be really happy with it. Of course, your
No, it's
average
the
bard
Anima
is
quest
going
from
to
your
be
I
Magical
clicked
Adept,
on your
so-
invite.
Well, I suppose if
That's
they
because it was
take from,
just
they
to
don't
put you in the
have to take
group.
that
I still have to do a summon.
Hellish Rebuke
Oh.
and Darkness were the spells
I-
before, and they're still fine. What I'm not as thrilled with what they built here is that
It's on
Abyssal
its
and
way.
Chthonic
Did I miss
are so
anybody else?
clearly inferior to Infernal. Ray of Sickness is not a spell I ever look for.
So we got some
And Hellish
time 'cause
Poison
the boss
is pretty
dead, so-
situational. You've
I'm
gotta be
already
fighting
here.
persons, and is only really good on a class that's able to reduce the saving throw of opponents. So I guess for one free casting a day, it's fine, but I'm not excited by it. I'm certainly not excited by Ray of Enfeeblement. And False Life, sure, I'd cast it, but again, not very exciting. And Chill Touch, I sure would rather have Firebolt than Chill Touch. Plus, the resistance to fire damage is going to be better than necrotic damage or poison damage. So you've got a clear best choice here, when what you're choosing is pretty much all for the same situation. I would have really liked it if they'd taken a look more at those Tome of Foes versions and given us, for the legacies, some spells that would be for different kind of builds. That is, give us the Social Tiefling, one with friends or Charm Person. Not better spells, but different kind of spells that might be useful in different circumstances. Or the Sneaky Tiefling, giving us Minor Illusion and Disguise Self and Visibility. But just looking at the old Player's Handbook Tiefling, this is a boost, and since everything's backward compatible, you can still use those Tome of Foes ones, so they're still around. Alright, so what's my final thoughts on all of
Oh, this guy takes
I
so long
like
to
it.
respawn compared
They
to
did
the
a
others.
nice job here, and generally, this is an improvement over what we've got. All the
They're all
changes
a little
are
slow.
not the changes I would have made. But
One in Raven
that's
Dress
fine.
last time around
They
was
have
pretty slow respawning.
some of the changes I really like. Both getting feats at first level and that our feats are now leveled, I think are great changes to the game, and I'm very happy to have those. And for the most part, the races are improvement over what we had from the Player's Handbook. Again, I'm not thrilled with them changing things and then changing them back, but if I'm just looking at Player's Handbook to Player's Handbook, we're good. So yeah, I encourage people to play test with these and then see what you like and what you don't like. I'm not really encouraging everyone to send in their feedback, because the last few times people have sent their feedback into Wizards of the Coast, it's come off really badly. This is why Strixhaven kinda sucked, and why no one gives a damn
Yeah,
about
that
Healing
felt
Spirit
better
anymore.
when people
I'm
ran out of
likely
the
sending
circle.
my feedback. And that's it for now.
Good reflexes,
Some big and
man.
exciting
It looks
changes,
scary.
but not too
Does
big.
look scary.
Who is there? Darkness may cloud my vision, but my roots are strong, and you will not stop me from defending this blade. Foul beasts! You are within my grasp. You are within my grasp. The flowers bloom once more and drive you from this place. The very ground you walk on restores me. Tendrils envelop you. You are within my grasp. Tendrils envelop you. Foul beasts, loam of the earth, nurture me once more. Tendrils envelop you. I am sorry.
Nicely done.
I could not save you.
Wonderful work, all. We'll pick up on Thursday. Wait, where is Tusk? Almost.
Casualty.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks,
I work
all.
around.
I usually do.